Welcome to the It Matters podcast. I'm your host, Walter Perez, and let's dive in as we help you grow your mindset and elevate your leadership. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the It Matters podcast. I'm so thankful that you're joining me again for another episode. I appreciate the love and support you're all showing me, and I'm excited to continue to bring these episodes to you, and I hope it's adding a lot of value to you. I want to bring you another solo episode today. I've been thinking a lot about our conversations that we've been having lately. My guests seem to have this common theme lately, and I caught it, and it seems like they love to talk about support systems, community, teamwork, having the right people around you that encourage you, cheer you on. And it got me thinking, and more specifically, when I was talking to Megan Becker a few weeks ago, by the way, if you haven't heard that episode, can I encourage you to go check it out? She's going to inspire you, encourage you. She had so much wealth of knowledge and wisdom and nuggets in there that are going to impact you greatly. But she was talking to me about this vibe tribe concept. These people that you get around you, that you vibe with, that you jive with, that are positive, encouraging. These people that are in line with your values and where you're heading. And I thought, man, that is such a cool way to describe that, your vibe tribe. So I thought today I'm going to bring you an episode on Vibe Tribe, basically on teamwork, community, the importance of having people around you. Like, who do you vibe with? Who do you have around you? Have you stopped and taken some inventory on the people that inspire you and that actually push you along and bring you to a new level? This is important to observe, because when it comes to leaders, I've seen it more often than not. There's a few of us out there that like to be lone rangers, to be lone wolves, where we want to say, hey, if it's going to be done right, it's going to be done by me. And can I tell you that that's such a dangerous mindset to get caught up in? If you fall into that trap that you think you're the answer to everything that's going to go right in your business, in your organization, can I tell you that you're going to find yourself disappointed, because it's just not true. If you reflect on everything that you've done to date, I guarantee you that we can dissect it and we can see that you have had a lot of people that have been part of your success. Whether you were reading a book and you read somebody else's perspective and experience, whether you were listening to a podcast, whether you were interacting with different strangers and people along the way, their impact, their encouragement, their perspectives have impacted and influenced your thoughts along the way. And the reality is that your success has been built on these blocks of other people. And that's not a bad thing. In fact, we need other people's experience. We can learn from their failures, we can learn from their success. And the more we understand that people can be a very valuable aspect to who we are and to what we do, oh my goodness, we're going to go and do amazing things. And I hope that you understand that. Have you heard of, that common quote that is put out there? Teamwork makes the dream work. Do you think it's kind of cheesy? Do you think it's just a cliche? I hope you don't think so, because when you look and you hear that quote, there's so much truth. There's so much truth in there. Because the reality is, when we buy into teamwork, when we buy into having a tribe of people around us, I have seen it over and over and over again that dreams do come true. Vision comes alive because people bring perspective and experiences to that, and they actually help the vision move forward. They propel the vision, and you end up getting different strengths and different people that are good in different areas, and that's what completes the dream. That's what completes the vision, and you see it come alive. So teamwork makes the dream work. Remember that line, because it's meant to be it's meant to be true and real. What about have you heard that proverb that talks about plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed? Have you heard that before? I love that proverb because it talks about like a wise person has a multitude of counselors. A wise person has many advisors because why? Because when we have many people, we get more perspectives, like I just said. We get different ideas, we get different ways of looking at an issue, at a challenge. We get different ways of doing things. We become innovative along the way in knowing how to work through things. And so with that different knowledge and different ideas, you get to create new things. And so it's important to have different people around us that mean well and that want us to succeed, so we can learn from that and be able to avoid some hiccups and bumps along the way. And I think it's just so cool when we get to learn from other people. What about this other proverb? As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Have you heard that one before? I love the idea that when we get together in masterminds, and when we get together in groups, that we get to sharpen each other. That actually, by being around the right people, we get better. So when you have a vibe tribe that is in tune with you, you're going to get better. It actually calls you to another level. It helps you grow. You've heard me say that multiple times. We're here, we're growing, we're on a growth journey. Well, one of the ways that we can grow is by having people around us, people that want the best for us, and people that inspire us and just push us and pull us up to another level. Keep that on mind, because if you're going to succeed, you want to have people around you that sharpen you. And you know what? I have all types of people in my life. I have people that I talk to all the time. I have people that I see them maybe once, two, or three every 3 months, and yet they still sharpen me when we spend time together. How about this one? If have you heard of this quote? This one's one of my favorites. It's an old African proverb, and it says, "If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others." You probably heard that because that's a popular one. And I want to tell you that that is so true. Sometimes we want to do things alone and we go, okay, because I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it done fast. But then my question is, are you going to get it done well? And how far are you going to go? How far is your own perspective? How far is your energy? How far is your own wisdom going to take you? But when we invite people on the journey, we get to go far. And not only that, I think it becomes this thing of longevity. We get to last. We get to go and we get to build something that has a strong foundation and not something that's just going to crumble overnight. We're not going to build it fast, and we're not going to buy into this get rich quick scheme. We're going to build with wisdom and slow, and it's going to have a proper foundation because we're going to have the right people around us. I really believe that you can accomplish so much when you have the right people around you. This whole idea of your vibe tribe, like who are you vibing with? Who's helping you work on your dreams? Who's sharpening you along the way? Who's counseling and giving you advice and perspective? Who are you bringing along the journey? It's great when you can meet these mile markers and get to the quote unquote to the top. But if you don't go there with people, what's the whole point? What are you going to celebrate? How long is that success going to last? And so this is I can't stress on how valuable I think this is, because you become the sum of those around you. Like, who you put around you, you will become like them. You'll share values. You will either be affected by them directly or indirectly. So this is why it's very important to be careful on who you associate with. It's very important on who you listen to, because you might have some positive people, but you know what? Negative people will try to creep in as well. Negative people are going to try to sneak in and give you their perspective. And that's why it's important to have some wisdom on who you need to listen to. And it's not that some people that are being negative or cautious are not saying some valid things, but you have to make sure you have the whole picture. You have to understand the season they're in, the season you're in. You have to understand, do they have a perspective to speak into your industry? Do they have a have they understood your life and where you're at? Does it make sense that with their experience, does it make sense that they would speak into your life, into the business or the project you're working on? Because it might not make sense. Like it might not actually, it might not, they might not be people that are actually vibing with you, if you understand what I'm saying. So when we understand that these groups can be a strong support, these people can be a community that we can rely on, there's a lot of great things that happen. And so let me explain something that is important for us to understand if we're going to choose to have people and then be in community. We need to learn to trust. We need to learn to be vulnerable. We need to understand that if we're going to be transparent, that's how people can speak into our lives. But if we put walls up, you can say you have people around you, but if you're not letting them in, if you can say that you have an open door policy, but if your physical door is always closed in your office, do you have an open door policy? I bring that out because we can end up having these great ideas and these quotes that we hear, like I just shared, and we say them because they sound great and that's what creates good culture, but we don't actually live it out. And if we're going to create good culture, we need to actually live out all these things that I'm talking about. Community seems to, I've been talking about it from a perspective of it's great to create a positive environment. And when we're doing great, community helps us to push us forward. But what about when we're not doing great? What about how does a vibe tribe help us when things are going in dark places, when we feel like we need help, when we're feeling broken? Community is very important when we're not doing well. I believe in this statement that healing happens in community, because when we learn to be vulnerable, when we learn to trust, as I said, and we learn to share and be able to give in community like that, you just never know how people are going to be able to speak into our lives. We open up the door for people to speak into our lives, for people to hear us out, people to understand us, and to give us a perspective that we might not have ever considered. And so I want to encourage you to consider that, because community on many levels has so many great attributes to it, and it has so many benefits. If you apply community on a regular basis, at first it might stretch you, but when you get comfortable with that, oh my goodness, the possibilities are endless on what you can do with the right people around you. I don't say this from the perspective that I don't practice that at all. I practice community on multi levels. I have them as I have my, I have friends that are more of an inner circle. I choose wisely who I let into my mind. I have people that advise me, coach me, mentor me in personal growth, in leadership, in business, in spiritual things. I have so many people around me that I know that have the best interest in me. And these are truly, as we've been talking about, my vibe tribe. I vibe with them, and we're on the same frequency. We're on the same trajectory looking forward, and we help each other win. We help each other win because we believe in each other and we're there to support each other. Even if I'm not specifically interested in that project or industry, I could have a perspective that returns the favor in support. And so, even through the Leader Co, even through our company, we strive to create community. That's why we've done this podcast and why we're putting on events that are bringing leaders together, that are bringing community leaders, business leaders, all types of leaders. Because I know when we bring people together, mighty things happen, because we get to share experiences, we get to experience impact, value, and there's so many great things that happen in collaboration. Another way to say that, yes, when we have the teams and people around us, we collaborate. I hope that you strive to be a collaborator. I hope that you're not just a taker, and that you strive to give back. You strive to plant good seeds, and to create ripple effects in your industry, in your life, because even if it directly doesn't come back, it will come back. I guarantee you it will come back. And it's not just about, expecting something in return. But when you make it a lifestyle to add value to others, it's amazing how you attract people to want to not only serve you, but want to help you, want to work with you in partnership with you. And so I really wanted you to think about that, because if you haven't, and maybe right now you can take a time out and start saying, okay, I need to invite more people into my life. I need to stop secluding myself and doing things on my own. I got to stop hiding in my room. I got to stop hiding in my house. I encourage you to get out, build friendships, build relationships. It starts one at a time, and before you know it, you start building this team around you that will help you with your dreams and your visions and whatever you want to do in life. And you're going to find success in your business. You're going to have success in your projects, and the best part is you're going to have some relationships that not all of them will be foundational or deep relationships, but you will find a few out there that are so important, and become you they become your best friends, and you get to do life together. And there's nothing more rewarding than when you're going through this journey of life, celebrating and going through hard times, going through good times with people that you love and people that care about you and that you care for. There's so many great things that come out of that. And so I hope that this podcast episode encourages you. Write in the comments, share, let me know what you think, because this is, I think, a key ingredient to success. And I think that if you give it a try and you actually apply it and reach out for it, you're going to win. You're going to win. You're going to love it. And good things are going to come your way. So thanks for joining me on this episode. Until next time, let me encourage you once again to dream big, grow always, and lead well. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.